behalf of the Sudan Revolution Support Group, I salute you all. We continue to gather, protest, and march in Cardiff, calling for an immediate ceasefire and to bring an end to the wars in Palestine and Sudan. We do march as part of the wide international anti-war movement, calling for a peaceful, better, and more just world. We strongly believe that we shall ultimately succeed. Your participation in this march means a lot to our people in Sudan, who continue to suffer in various aspects from the ongoing war between the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudan Armed Forces, SAF. As you may know, the UN estimates that the death toll of the war at about 15,500, a figure that we certainly believe is a significant underestimation. We extend our heartfelt condolences to all the families who have lost loved ones in this brutal war and in the war on Palestine. Our sympathy also goes out to the thousands injured and the millions displaced, including those facing acute hunger in Sudan and Palestine. Brothers and sisters, the humanitarian crisis in Sudan is heartbreaking and difficult to comprehend. Millions of internally displaced people and refugees are suffering. We highlight the alarming situation facing Abu Shouk camp in Al-Fashir in North Darfur state amid the RSF attacks on the city. The Sudanese refugees in Olala and former camps in Ethiopia face dire conditions including looting, kidnapping, and killing by armed groups in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Lacking protection from the local authorities and international organizations, over 6,000 refugees of them fled to a forest where they have been deprived of food, health care, and water for the last 50 days. This is unacceptable. The world must act immediately to alleviate such suffering and provide the necessary protection. Fellows, activists, we must continue to organize and unite to amplify our voices in solidarity with our people. We demand an immediate ceasefire, the facilitation of humanitarian aid, and an end to the war and return to the revolutionary path that will establish a democratic Sudan where freedom, peace, and justice prevail. Dear comrades, tomorrow, June 30th, marks 5 years since a key milestone in our peaceful Sudanese revolution. On this day in 2019, millions took to the streets across Sudan to defend the revolution from the military council's attempt to cling to power after ousting dictator Omar al-Bashir. This massive mobilization followed the tragic sit-in dispersal massacre on June 3rd, 2019, committed by the current warring parties who were allies at the time. The June 30th marches called for civilian rule and rejected military dominance, leading to a brief power-sharing deal. However, the military greed for power and conflicting foreign interests led to the current disastrous war. Brothers and sisters, we have no faith in these leaders who care about human losses or the deliberate destruction of our country's infrastructure. They are criminals and must be brought to justice. Our faith lies in the revolutionary forces, trade unions, and resistance committees to continue their organization, unity, and peaceful struggle. Our faith is in you, those who can raise their voices abroad, show solidarity with Sudan, and campaign to pressure their governments to end the war. Dear revolutionaries and activists, international interventions have not succeeded in achieving sustainable solutions in Sudan. The lack of understanding of the people's genuine demands and the negative interventions by regional powers are key reasons for the failure. Any mediation that does not prioritize Sudan and its people will only perpetuate instability. From what we witnessed in Sudan and Palestine, we can say that the international community has failed to protect civilians, has failed to deliver humanitarian aid, has failed to bring an end to the wars, has failed to bring the warlords to justice. This reflects a global institutional failure that warrants a global popular movement calling for reform and an end. We call the international community, including governments, politicians, human rights organizations, and activists, to exert pressure on military leaders to step down and hand over power to a civilian government led by revolutionaries. Peace and justice for Sudan. 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 Peace and justice for Sudan.
5 days from now, the country will be choosing. And the most likely choice will be between blue Tories and red Tories. It's either going to be, and it's not very likely that it will be, blue Tory, but the red Tories are looking very confident. But we're here today and across the country telling the world that we care. We don't want to vote in war criminals. We don't want to vote in Keir Starmer and his Labour Party that thinks it's okay to spend billions in weapons donations, in funding of a genocide, but has nothing for our NHS, has nothing for our education, has nothing for the investments that we need, has nothing for our country, has nothing for our schools, our children, our lives, our cost of living, our mortgages, our housing. They have enough though to prop up Israel. We have enough to prop up Israel. We have enough to prop up Israel. We say no ceasefire, no vote. 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 Our movement is united. Our movement knows which potential candidates, which candidates are the ethical ones and which are not. We have put out recommendations, and we're saying this out loud. In Cardiff South and Penarth, our recommendation, our ethical recommendation is vote anti-slaughter for the Green Party. In Cardiff East, our ethical choice is some coats from the Green Party. In Cardiff West, our ethical choice and recommendation is Kira Marshall from Pride Cymru. And in Cardiff North, our recommendation is Irfan Latif from the Lib Dems. What we're saying is that we have another choice. It does not have to be either Tory or Labour. We deserve better. We deserve ethics. We deserve morals. We deserve people who care about us, who will serve us. I spoke once with one of the MPs that is standing again for re-election in Cardiff East. And when I spoke to her, she said to me, I am not your delegate. This is not a delegate system. has refused